Hello, hello! Today we will show you how to suppress block updates, get blocks in invalid states, duplicate all blocks you can place, and more. But don't worry, you also can delete blocks without dropping an item, so it's still balanced. Hello, hello! This is Panda, and I'm here together with Spire.
Hello!
And today we got this machine for you. What it does is crazy stuff. So when we remove this block here, it's connected to the machine. You can see the signs will pop off, and then this torch will get updated and pop off, and the whole machine will trigger. And let's just try it out. Everything is a little bit laggy when I break the block, but after a short moment you see the block disappeared, the portal is still there, and the ladder that we had placed against the block is also still there. So it didn't update the blocks around this block. The way this works is, when this machine is triggered by a block update, it will turn off all this redstone, then trigger the layer below, turn off the redstone here, trigger the layer below, and so on, and cause a whole lot of updates. And at some point it's too much, and yeah, it will stop processing updates and just cause a crash there. Stack overflow is a type of crash that we have. And we'll just stop processing the other updates, also stop processing these, because the other updates would happen after this part updated. And yeah, everything else that would happen usually when you break the block, all the other codes that would happen when you break a block will just not execute at all. So yeah, it will just not update correctly. And what we also could try is, if we place a block here, the same thing can happen. But for that we need to reset it first. And to reset it, we need to get in here and place torches here. And that uses a neat little trick. Actually quite a bug, but that is when you place a... Okay, I broke the machine. But when you place a redstone torch on a piston, you can place it, but then the piston extends, and the redstone torch can't stand on an extended piston. So if it now gets an update, it will immediately pop out and update the blocks around. And that's the tricks that we use here to yeah, basically updates is all in the same tick, so that the updates cause this kind of crash. And yeah, resetting is a bit tedious, but not too bad. We just need to fly through here and place the torches. And press buttons. Okay, that was an unexpected crash. Apparently this tower is twice as high than it would need to be, and I triggered the lower part while I was in there, and apparently the way I triggered it didn't catch the error, so it just crashed the game. But we fully reset the tower now, and before we trigger it again, we can explain a bit better how it works, at least a tiny bit. So when there's a block update here, this torch will pop out because it's on top of a piston which has no solid top. Then this torch will cause updates. It will at some point update this redstone here, and then the redstone updates in really funky ways, and updates itself over and over again, which will cause a lot of lag and also a lot more updates. That's why the stack overflow is possible with these fields of redstone. But this redstone line will just at some point update these rails here and turn them off. Then these rails will turn off, and the rails here, the last rail, when it turns off, will update the torch below, which then will pop out again, and that all happens in the same tick and like even right after each other. And when this torch pops out, then this redstone will start to turn off with the super weird update mechanics redstone has at the moment, that it just constantly updates each other and counts down slowly. But let's not go into details about that. And at some point all these rails here will not get powered. At the moment they are powered from the redstone on top here, but at some point they will not be powered anymore. And then this rail in the center will turn off again and update the torch below. That will pop out, and the process repeats. And it does that for as many layers as it needs till yeah, the stack overflows, and we got the crash. And then, depending on what caused the update initially, the crash will either be caught, and the game will keep running and just not process a part of the code and not process other updates. Or, as you saw when I pressed the button in there, it will just crash the game if the crash is not caught. So, suppressing block updates is not the only thing that you can do with that. Another thing is, if I go in game mode 0, you will be able to see it. If I place a sponge block here, for example, it's a really rare block and not renewable, then we need to wait for a moment for everything to update. and you will be able to see I still got the sponge block in my inventory. It just became invisible. And now we got it duplicated. And let me just reset this machine again. Okay, the machine is reset, and now we got a wither skeleton skull here. And when I place it next to the torch to update all this stuff, you will see that it first lags a bit, of course, again. But once the skull appears there, it's a skeleton skull instead of a wither skeleton skull. And of course it duplicated again, so I got both skulls now. The reason that it turns into a skeleton skull is that the skull type is stored in a tile entity, and apparently that's set after the block updates are processed. So yeah, that's a kind of interesting thing about it as well. But I will include a world download to this world in the video description, and you can play around with it yourself. The one thing you need to make sure when using this machine is that the update on this machine happens before the updates around the blocks that you want to prevent. And the negative x coordinate is usually the coordinate that gets updated first. But a few blocks like redstone dust and redstone torches have bigger a bigger update radius, so you sometimes need to be a bit careful. That's why we used signs here earlier to get the update of the redstone torch away from the portal to make sure that the redstone torch doesn't update that stuff. So yeah, sometimes you need to be a bit careful there. But I think that's it. So thanks for watching, and let us know what you come up with this stuff, because I don't think we discovered all possibilities. Like, we just set a lot of blocks into invalid states, but yeah, I think that's it. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.